guys, wanted to give you the top 5 not so obvious ways to increase the NOI of your multifamily property. But look mate, look where I am. I'm actually out and about here in PORTO. Absolutely cracking morning. Look at that. People are out and about, they're getting their weekend off to an absolute flyer. I hope you all are too, wherever you might be. So yeah, just wanted to bring to you a little bit of, just talk a little bit about, I get asked a lot, what are the ways you reduce the NOI or increase the NOI of your multifamily property? And I was doing some research throughout the week and just, based on my experience as well, there's a couple of cool ways out there that you can increase the your NOI, which aren't as obvious as some people think of just like going in there and, increasing rents and doing the renos. So the first one is that you want to be billing back everything, all your utilities. And this is something we implement on all our properties. So what do I mean by billing back something? Well, it means like your water, your common electric, even if your tenants you're paying for the electricity of your tenants, you should really try and put it all back on the tenants. And there's different ways of doing it. You can go out there and implement individual meters, but that costs a lot of money. What we like to do is just base it on the square footage. So you get a total square footage of the apartment, times it by 50 apartments, whatever that might be, and then divide that by the utilities. It might be the water bill, it might be the electricity bill, it might be the gas bill, and base it on a square footage. Now the way you go about implementing that in notifying the tenants is that you sort of say, well, hey tenants, we're going to start billing you guys back for the utilities that you use, the electricity, the water, the gas, the yada yada yada, and that there will sort of just trigger them to start saying, well, hang on, I don't need to be using as much, and their consumption will go down just because they're starting to have to pay for what they're using. So number one is always bill back your tenants. Number two, you want to be doing as much energy savings as you can around the property. So what do I mean by energy savings? I mean implementing LED lights in your common areas, putting like a solar film. There's a really cool invention out there. It's a solar film that you put on your windows, and that reduces the glare into the apartment. And so when in the summer, when it's really, really hot, it takes less energy to cool the apartment down. Very, very awesome way of reducing energy bills. Another thing that we like to do in our apartments is put in low flow fixtures, taps, shower heads on your faucets. And what that does, it just reduces the consumption of water. And combined with number one, when you bill back all the the water charges and all that sort of stuff, it just sort of has an overall reducing effect on your expenses, and not also from the owner of the property, but also from the tenant's point of view when they're having to pay the utilities. So number three is putting in capital improvements that tenants will absolutely value. Think about stuff that tenants love. I know when I was back when I was renting in New York City, I loved the fact that we had a dishwasher or a washer and dryer system. Tenants love that, and if they have that in the units, they're going to value that unit more, and they're going to essentially pay you more for it. Another thing that I like to think of when you're doing your capital improvements is think of other stuff, amenities that tenants like. A gym, maybe it's a barbecue area. We did it on one property that we implemented an after daycare center. That was hugely popular. We transformed one of the units into a daycare center, and that's because we went out to the tenants and said, hey tenants, what do you want in this building? And they said, well, we've got kids, we work all the time, maybe an after daycare center. And so we put one in, and tenants value that sort of stuff. Gyms, barbecues, your daycare centers. Daycare centers you can charge for. The barbecues and the gym you're not going to be able to charge for, but you're going to create a value for the community that people will love. They want to go and work out at the gym. They want to have a barbecue on a summer weekend. People want to do that, and they're going to pay more to live in that community. Number four is renegotiate all your utilities with your utility provider. There are consultants out there, energy consultants. Google them, it's pretty easy, like energy consultants, I don't know, in Kansas City, or energy consultants in Texas, or energy consultants in wherever your property is. And what they do is that when the contract comes to the end to the end, they will go in there and help you renegotiate with that particular utility provider. So it might be the gas company, it might be the water company, it might be the electrical company, it might even be the trash services. And being able to negotiate and reduce your expenditure on that sort of stuff is very, 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 very powerful. The last thing is, access agreements with your cable providers. Give them a call them up, say, hey, look, I've got a 50 unit property, I've got a 100 unit property. These are all potential customers of you. what can you give me as a kickback for letting you be the sole advertiser in my property? They're going to value that because they're going to have more customers. So guys, I hope you got a lot of awesome, cracking information out of this little vlog. Going to try and do it once a week. I'm down here at El Porto Beach in California, having a beautiful Saturday morning. I'm actually going to go about and do a bit of fitness, get into the water. Look at that water over there. It looks absolutely stunning. We're going to do this all again next week, guys. So take care, be safe, and remember, happy investing. Boom.